How's it going, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Would You Rather. That's the series where we take two vehicles, we compare them against each other, and then we ask you in the comments to tell us which one you would rather and why. Now, I haven't done one of these in quite a while because we haven't really had all that much inventory that I felt was a cool comparison, if you will. But today, we're looking at a 2018 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray, which is a 3LT, and we're looking at a 2018 Camaro 2SS with the 1LE track package. So I think this is going to be a very cool comparison, and I'm very interested to see what you guys and gals say in the comments, which one you would want and why. So let's first take a look at some of the similarities. They're obviously both Chevrolets, they're both 2018s, they're both the same 6.2 liter V8 engine with 455 horsepower. They're both manual transmission cars. They both have magnetic ride control. Performance-wise, these things are very, very similar, in spec. Now, one of the major differences you've probably already noticed between the Camaro and the Corvette is a convertible. So we're gonna hop in here and we're gonna first drop that top because that's probably one of the major reasons you would actually choose this vehicle if you like that top-down, wind in your hair feel. Just press this button here, it's gonna drop both windows. It's then gonna lift up the back trunk area where the top will go in, and then it closes down real nice over the top where you have that nice center Corvette waterfall feature. Whole process takes probably about 18 to 19 seconds. And there we go. So now you have wide open air for a beautiful sunny day just like today. Now, this is a 3LT model, so it pretty much has all the features you're gonna get. It's got the heated seats, it's got the ventilated seats. It has all the extra, trim work, which is nice, like all the leather wrapped dashboard, leather wrapped door panels. You even have like the suede materials here on the interior, on your interior trim panels. And then as you can see, this is a two-tone black and gray interior, which I think really looks nice with the Admiral Blue. The only thing I'm not crazy about this car is on the hood, they put a gray stinger stripe, and I'm not a real fan of that. If I was to purchase the car, I'd probably take that off, to be honest. Like we said earlier, we got the manual transmission. This is obviously a 7-speed in the Corvette. We have a touchscreen radio here. We do have navigation. We do have the ability to plug in for Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. So all your technology features actually between both cars is going to be very similar. All the features and amenities. This does have the PDR, the Performance Data Recorder. So you can put a SD card in here and you can record forward camera view, and it has overlays of like your percentage of throttle and brake and steering and stuff like that. So if you were to take this car on a track, or if you just wanted to have that information driving down some country roads, you can do that. The car is very comfortable. Obviously I'm a little tall, so it's a little smaller for me. However, it is comfortable. Again, seating for two, whereas if you go to the Camaro, you do get a back seat. So if you had to put passengers in the back, you have the ability to do that in that car. You do not have that in this car. Another thing you have to consider in this car is you're limited on cargo space. So if I press and hold this, let's open our trunk lid. You'll see when the top is down, you're very limited on space. So if you were doing any kind of a trip or something like that, you got to account for that. You can remove this panel from these two little posts here. It drops flat and it does give you more trunk space. But when you do that, you don't have the ability to have the top down at the same time. So, convertibles are great when the top is down, but again, you're limited on space for your cargo. Now, the biggest miss with this particular build is they did not put the dual mode exhaust on it. So the exhaust on this Corvette is very, very quiet. In my opinion, it would definitely be something you'd have to change out, immediately when you buy it, because you're buying a car like this, you want to definitely have a nice sound. The stock exhaust is pretty quiet. You'll hear the Camaro later. It's phenomenal. Let's actually hop into Camaro and start it up right now. Obviously, these are manual transmissions, so we do not have remote start. So we got to hop in first. Clutch to the floor. This paper's in the way. Press our start button. Put her in neutral. Make sure the e-brake is on. Now let's hear how this sounds and compare the difference. Immediately you can tell it's definitely a louder, more throaty exhaust. Now this is actually in track mode. There are different modes on this car when you have the dual mode that you can adjust in the radio, which is pretty cool. Gives you some customization. Basically, if I go into home, settings, driving mode, engine sound management, right now we're on track. If I go to stealth, it's going to quiet it down a lot. So that's stealth, and this is track. Now, to compare to the Corvette, again, coupe, no sunroof, nothing like that. You do have the small back seat, which when I'm sitting in the driver's seat leaves virtually no room behind you. But again, if you had to have someone in the back, you can move seats forward, you can adjust for 4. We do have the manual transmission. Previous owner put a nice pool ball styled 1LE shift knob on there, which is pretty cool. You do have heated and ventilated seats, you have the heated steering wheel, you have the heads-up display, you have really all the same type of amenities that you had in the Corvette, just in a different package. And then the big difference with this car is it's the 1LE track package. And what you're getting with that is magnetic ride control, which is the better suspension. You're getting the nice Recaro Performance front bucket seats, which are leather with like a suede insert. You're getting a limited slip, electronic limited slip differential. It does have that dual mode performance exhaust, which we kind of pointed out a little earlier, which sounds fantastic. Then you have the satin black hood wrap, the satin black blade spoiler. You get a nice set of 20-inch wheels, which have the same black look, and you even get the satin black front splitter. So it really gives the car a very aggressive track or aggressive performance look. Definitely more than the Corvette we're comparing it to. Can't even believe I almost forgot to mention with that 1LE performance package, you do get the Brembo performance brake kit with the red calipers both in the front and in the rear. Since we talked about the cargo space in the Corvette, we got to talk about it in the Camaro. So here, you know, you'll see your opening is pretty small in the Camaro. However, you have a decent sized trunk where you can definitely fit more than what you can fit in the Corvette convertible. You also have the ability to drop the seat down in here, so if you had to put longer items in, you can. So as far as functionality on a trip or something like that, you'll definitely have more room to bring stuff in the Camaro than you will in the Corvette. I don't know, what are your thoughts? I kind of know what I'm thinking. I'm gonna give you my thoughts, and then I'm gonna ask you, like I said earlier, to put in the comments which one you would take and why. In my opinion, you got two different kinds of cars here. They're both very equal with performance. However, this is more, in my opinion, like a cruiser car, you know, down the beach, top down, maybe some mountain roads, things like that. Not really pushing the car to the limit, just nice, easy cruising for you know, a nice Sunday morning drive, let's say. Whereas here, when you go to the 1LE, I see more spirited driving, aggressive driving, maybe some tracking of the vehicle, you know, really putting the car to what it was built for, pushing it to the limits. No doubt either one would be a fantastic buy. They'd both be real fun. I should mention that the Corvette, because this is pretty important when you're making your decision here, if you got to buy one of these two cars. The Corvette has about 43,400 miles on it. The Camaro has just under 19,000 miles on it. The original MSRP of the Corvette when it was brand new was $73,145. We're currently advertising it online for $56,977. And the original MSRP on the Camaro 1LE 2SS here was $50,655. We're currently advertised online for sale at $48,777. So you're actually going to pay, if you choose the convertible, $8,200 more, $8,200 more than the Camaro. But is it worth it to you? Like, would you rather spend more to get the convertible and the more expensive car of the two, if you can say that? Obviously we can say that. Or do you go with the more track related performance muscle car kind of vehicle, save yourself $8,200, but you don't have the drop top, you don't have the Corvette level, you have a Camaro? These are the things that you have to decide. So please, in the comments, which would you rather and why? I totally forgot to mention, Corvette's bone stock. Camaro, not so much. Previous owner did put a cold air inductions cold air system on it. He also put a strut to strut tower brace on it to add to the performance of the track package 1LE model.